Jesus once asked his disciples, "Who do you say that I am?" St. Peter answered, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." And yet, despite that wonderful answer, Jesus told the apostles, "Don't tell anyone." I wonder if that could be because that's a question that everyone has to answer for themselves. Who do you say that I am? Who is God for me? It's really the most important question in life. If I go through life and I never reflect on my life, if I never wonder, where do I come from? Where will I go when I die? Who is God? Then I'm never going to be able to grow spiritually. A young girl called Edith Stein, the 11th child of a Jewish family, was born in Poland in 1891. For her, when she asked that question, who is God, the answer was clear in her early life. It was the God of Israel, the God of her fathers, the one true God. By the age of 14, this bright young girl was still asking that question, who is God? And at 14, the answer she came to is, God is nobody to me. There is no God. God is irrelevant in my life. She went on in her later teens to study philosophy. In fact, she was a very bright and brilliant girl. She became a great writer, someone who reflected deeply on the big questions of life, so that by the age of 21, her answer to the question, who is God, was that Jesus Christ is God. And so she was baptized as a Catholic. But she didn't stop asking those questions. Those questions led her to hear the call of God to give more, to give her all. So she left behind the world, her very successful career, and she became a Carmelite sister. She entered the Carmelite convent of Cologne in 1933, and as the Nazi persecution of the Jews became more and more intense, she knew that she was in danger and that her presence in the convent there was placing the other sisters in danger too. So she moved to the Carmelite convent at Echt in the Netherlands. In the early 1940s, the Archbishop of Utrecht denounced what the Nazis were doing to the Jews. As a direct retaliation, the Nazis rounded up and arrested all Christians who had converted from Judaism, including Edith Stein, or as she was now known, Sister Teresa Benedicta of the Cross, and her sister Rosa. They were both sent to the Nazi concentration camp of Auschwitz. I feel certain that as she looked around at those terrible scenes, the destruction wrought by man's inhumanity to man, that she must often have asked herself once again that question, who is God? I feel certain too that in a new way she embraced Jesus Christ as the God who never leaves us, even in the midst of terrible suffering, as the one who would bring her through death to eternal life. That's why we celebrate this day, the day of her death in Auschwitz, as the day of her birth into heaven and eternal life, on the 9th of August 1942, on this day.